Welcome to the Land of Bet Sports Betting Live show. Appreciate you guys jumping in. Friday, we got game 4. Looking to have a little bounce back from last game. Lost a couple of units in the finals. Tough to nail down some of this stuff, but I'm going in with a good number of bets here, and I really want to know what you guys got to look at. So appreciate everybody jumping in. We're going to be going into the comments. What's up, Reef? Always on deck. Appreciate having you, man. You're looking at TJ McConnell to start, so we're going to look at some TJ. I'm going to be looking at most players here, but like I said, I got a couple of good looks from people in the last show, so I'm pretty grateful for that. Excited to get back into it and really want to push the comments this show a lot more so that you guys can get in, give me some of the stuff that you're looking at. We can go from there. So jump in the comments. Let me know what you want to look at. I'm going to be sharing my screen using Props Madness per usual. So we'll get into each of these players going down the line pretty much and see what we like here. In this game, I got a couple things that I was showing people from the last game that I just kind of want to show. Oh, I pulled those out. All right, I don't have my same stuff. If you saw the episode that I put out last night, I was looking at some of the stats that were pretty key for this one. I can honestly just even show you those real quick as we jump in and let people get in with the bets that they want to look at as we get over to the not necessarily the box score. Let me get into the just the playoffs for a minute. I wanted to show y'all in the finals how this has looked so far. If we compare these teams and the key stats, just looking at like the traditional stats for a sec. So the key thing that I'm looking at is actually the rebound still going to Indy in this one, and obviously the threes going to Indy as well in this series. And that's where we're at with it, is that they are hanging around in both those categories and shooting more threes than the Thunder to get their points. That's a lot of the stuff that I'm looking at. So good to have y'all in here, though. Like I said, I'm gonna get back into these comments. We got the PRA from Caruso. I'm gonna star this one. Definitely want to look at TJ for Reef here in just a bit. So let's keep it going. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate you being in here. Let's start with TJ. But like I said, I'm going to get this banner up that says, give me your bets, because I stopped asking for those quite as much as I used to in this show. But jump in the comments with your bets. All right. All right, cool. So looking for you guys to bring what you got, because you guys gave me some heat last time. Let's get to TJ McConnell real quick. He's back down to 6.5 points. He's 7.5 too in some books right now. If you look at the assist for him, those should still be 3.5. Juice down, right? The odds are not quite as good. -135 is the best you're going to find for the assists. You put them together, you can get 10.5 now. I took this at 11.5 for some plus money for TJ so far. So that's what I'm looking at as the bet for him. Look, I mean, the minutes here, they're not going to get much higher than like 19. I think he's played 17, 18, and 15. So he's right at about 17 minutes per game in the finals. But the key thing here that you're looking at for TJ McConnell, as I go back into the NBA stuff for a minute, let me show you the touches and the difference between him and the rest of the team. It's actually pretty wild. If you go into the player stats here on NBA.com stats page, if we look at players, what am I looking at here? Let's go to usage for a minute. If we're looking at the usage percentage and the touches, actually I have to do that in traditional. Let me go back, my bad. If we're looking at the touches, TJ McConnell's up at like 50 touches per game in the finals. Let's go to tracking data. Let's go to touches, and let's just do the finals. And what we're looking at as I get stats here on the NBA stats page, touches in this series, right? Everybody's super high. TJ McConnell at just 16.6 minutes per game is like 7th in series in touches. So when he's out there, he's got the ball the whole time, right? So that's why I'm just going to continue to love his usage rate, which is stupid high. If we look at it in the finals as well, let's look at the last 3 games for these Pacers. If we're looking at McConnell and the usage rate here, third on the team in usage at 23%. So I'm not concerned at all with him not being out there for more than 16 minutes, 15 minutes. Took 8 shots in 15 minutes, 7 potential assists in 15 minutes. By the way, the 8 shots additionally had 4 free throw attempts. So 2 trips to the line, made all 4 of them. Still think he's a great look. Have no reason not to go over for TJ still. Like if he doesn't hit it this game and we get a 10.5 PA line again, feeling really good about it, especially because last thing I'll show you, if we look at the difference here, not game without, if we look at the difference here in the playoffs, and we look at the home and away stuff in the playoffs, he's up at 14.6 PA per game when they're at home. Definitely gets a bit off the crowd. A little white boy and all his steals, right? So definitely like that from him. Let's see. Got Carissa in here with first quarter OKC Pacers money line. Oh, I see what you're saying. So parlay the first quarter for OKC to win the first quarter by whatever that spread is, and then or the money line for first quarter OKC. Can I get my mouse to work, please? No. All right, mouse died. Go back to the trackpad. I do like that. Let me just pull that up real quick. Let's just use FanDuel for a minute and see if you're talking about the Pacers to win the game. What's their money line in general right now? plus 190 for them to win. Plus 6, I think, is the way to go. I still don't know if we shouldn't believe in this Pacers team quite as much. I hate them so much. But if you did take the bet there, you probably get that as a set bet on like DraftKings or wherever they're offering it. But if we look at the first quarter winner, and we take the Thunder to win that, but then we take the Pacers money line, that's going to be a pretty nice parlay, I would imagine. Pull this plus 190 up. They won't even let you take it. So you'd probably have to take it on like as they give it to you on like what DraftKings probably has it, something like that. Let's see if I can get this mouse to work one more time. No, that sucks. All right. So I see where you're at with that. If you can get that for, I mean, I would hope you're getting that for like 4-1 or better, Carissa, if you're talking about that bet, but I don't hate it at all. J-Dub under PRA also went that route as well myself. Again, this is now at 33.5 on the PRA for J-Dub. Look, man, I mean, he had 26 points last game. I could go back and show you a number of ways that he does not get 3 extra PRA, right? One would be the very opening possession of the game. Keyshawn Wallace, one of the opening possessions of the game. Keyshawn Wallace has a fast break dunk, misses the dunk, lands in J-Dub's lap for a rebound, plus the putback on 2 points with no defenders back. That was pretty unlucky. A couple of the threes, you're like, no way that's going in. Hits it. Aaron Nesmith missed most of last game. He played 22 minutes in this last game. Let me just make sure I pull up the box score because I'm going to keep referencing that. But he played 22 minutes in this last game because he had he ended up fouling out. He had 3 fouls in the first quarter. That all just contributed to J-Dub not having nearly as good of a defender on him. So I'm coming right back to what we've been hitting. Hasn't hit this at all against the Pacers at all, right? But when we look at, I just want to show you Nesmith, only 22 minutes. That leads to guys like Toppin, Ben Shepherd at times guarding J-Dub. Let's see who is the second. I'm going into the matchups for a minute because I want to see who guarded him the second most. So if we put J-Dub on offense, we still had Aaron Nesmith on him the most, but yeah, it's Benedict Mathurin. That is not anywhere close to the defender that Nesmith is. In fact, Benedict Mathurin's bad enough on defense that he doesn't get the minutes he should because he's a liability on that side of the floor. So if that's the guy who is defending him the most, I'm good on him not getting his as much in this game. So I do like the under on the J-Dub PRA. Also would just say, what's the total right now in this one? Looking at, it went up to 227. I understand these teams play fast and they both want to get out into transition, but like we're in the finals, man, and things slow down for a reason. Things get tight. Everything's a bit bigger. This is like a game 7. The Thunder can't afford to go down 3-1. And if you're the Pacers, you have to win this game again because you did all that work to win in OKC, take care of business at home, and you got this series in a good spot. So I think this is a game 7 style game for both teams in this one. Ghost Riders on some Obi Toppin stuff. So my thing with Obi is, and let me write these bets down on the bottom line for those of you guys coming in late. I used to do that too. I know people appreciated that. So on the bottom line, I'm going to get these bets up. I do think Jalen Williams under 33.5 PRA once again. We were talking about McConnell. Let's see. McConnell over 11.5 PA, and you can get that at 10.5 if you'd like as well. I'll put Obi in here because I'm actually fading Obi this game, and I took the whole kit and caboodle on the PRA, and I'll tell you why. But that's going to be on the bottom line for those of you guys who are rolling in right now and getting into what we're talking about. The look here for Obi. Let's get up to Obi for a minute. So Obi's up at 9.5 points. If you're just talking about the points, it's tough for me to get there with it. The reason that there's so much inconsistency with Obi Toppin in the minutes and what have you is when he's not shooting well, or guys like Pascal are not in foul trouble, which Pascal was in foul trouble last game. There was at least 5 to 6 extra minutes for Obi Toppin without Pascal out there with the fouls. Plus then you had the Nembhard fouls and the Nesmith fouls. Both of those, all 3 of those guys fouling like that, 3 fouls in the first half for all 3 of those dudes who normally play 30 plus minutes. That's going to eat into, that's going to give Obi Toppin some time, right? Some extra time. He played 28 minutes and he still went under in this last game. He took 8 shots, which is not something you expect him to take if he's not playing 28 minutes, right? If you look at the playoffs as a whole, this is an under bet overall in terms of the value, especially on the PRA at 15.5. So, I mean, look, the points at 9.5 is a little bit more beatable than, say, the 15.5 PRA, in my opinion. But if you look at the games where he's getting the PRA, 25 minutes, 20 and 21. In the playoffs as a whole right now, he's averaging 18 minutes per game. So the 25 minutes that he's getting when he's going over, 22 minutes, that's above his averages for what he's normally playing. He's gotten a few more minutes in the last 2, all these games. 19 minutes, though, is where I'd put him, right? I just can't really condone it over if the minutes projection for him isn't as high as these props sort of indicate. So I'm fading Obi tonight in this one for anybody interested. Let me keep rolling though and just keep getting to what you guys got. All right, let me see him get back up here. We got Obi. Let's see. Brown hundreds only. OKC -2.5 first quarter spread. SGA 25 plus. Siakam 13.5 points. So you just got yourself a little alt line parlay here, right? Where you're taking like the SGA 25 plus is an alt line lower, all that kind of stuff. Siakam 13.5 points. That's kind of random, honestly. And then Chet over 11.5 points. All that's super doable. I have no problem with any of that. I mean, I would guess the thing that puts you the most in jeopardy there is the first quarter look, right? As you add that to your bet. Where's that spread at? Not the winner. Give me that spread. 2.5 for flat, right? -113. That's the thing right there. So that would, if you're going like all these alt line parlays that you think are really easy to get over, then the 2.5 point spread is the only one that kind of stands out as like one of these things is not like the other one. And if you're going for this like safe parlay, I would just question the 2.5. That's the only thing I would be looking at. Yes, sir. Paul, I'm gonna mess up your last name, bro. Maurer Jr. PMJ though, my boy PM. We're like-minded here, my G. We got the Nembhard under on the RA. Hopefully you can still get 8.5. That's only available on a few books. I took this with a little parlay though on DraftKings. So I took the Nembhard 10 plus points. And I took under on the RA. I still think he's very capable of getting 11 points. He's still 12.5 in these playoffs. If you date back to last playoffs, right, where he was at 15 a game, all with Haliburton and Siakam playing. It's not like they were missing guys last season. So for Nembhard, I still think that the points can get there. He took 5 shots last game, got to the free throw line twice. I got to imagine there's a little bit more aggressiveness that's coming from him at some point. That's my hope anyway. The points, I really like the under on the RA. Didn't really want to drink the juice at 8.5, which was like -145 or whatever. So I added it to the 10 plus points and got +178 on that for Nembhard. I'll go ahead and throw that on the bottom line as well. So for you guys coming in, you can see at the bottom, we're going to have all the bets I'm looking at. So I put an SGP together for Nembhard that was 10 plus points / under 8.5 RA. So rebounds and assists combined. And that got me +178 for anybody looking to tail that. That was on DraftKings, was the best number for Nembhard on the parlay there. But I agree that his use, like the last 2 games are discouraging. 7 rebound chances, 3 potential assists, 6 rebound chances, 5 potential assists. And he ran hot, right? Like getting 4 assists on 5 potentials is running hot. Getting 4 rebounds on 7 rebound chances could be considered running hot and a little bit more of a overkill, right? Like not something you expect to happen with that much consistency. So anyway, as y'all are jumping in, let me get back to letting you know, I'm really just trying to take your guys' comments in this game and see what you guys want to talk about, which games you want to bet on. My boy, what's up, TP? Miss you, bro. I see you here with your prize picks bets, the over 3.5 free throws made for Siakam. I dig it. I do. He wasn't even that aggressive last game. I think he had like 6 of them, right? Let me see where Siakam's at on his free throws. The SGA free throws are crazy on there, dude. The SGA free throws are like double digits for like +180 for him to make like 10 free throws. Like, what the hell are you talking about? For Siakam, he had 6 in the last game, 9 and 6. So 4 for 6, bro. Yeah, I think 6 should be expected, and he should be going 4 for 6. So I like that. If this is at 3.5, I think that's a vibe. More free throws from TP. He should know he spent his career at the line, getting hacked by little dudes. 4.5 free throws for J-Dub. Where's he at with the free? He was aggressive last game. He looked a lot better for sure. But I think his confidence was up a lot more early for after he like saw a couple of shots go in. I don't know if he's going to see as many shots go in. He had 11 last game, 9 and 4. Yeah, I'm 4.5 is a little dicey, but if he's at 4, that's 9, 13, 24. So he's at 8 free throw attempts per game. He should be making 5 of them if he sticks to his totals of 8 free throw attempts per game. I can see both those. I like where you're at with the free throws from my guy. Caruso, 8 points. Back to PM. Let's just get to Caruso real quick since you brought it up. I'm sure other people are talking about him. God damn, I wish my mouse was working. Caruso on the 8+ points. Yeah, I mean, I think you don't really have to dumb it down like that if you don't want to. I think you can take the 10+ for him. I know he had 8 in the last game, only took 5 shots. But goddamn, dude, it's 32 minutes. I mean, if he's going to get, I still have him at 28 minutes projected. So if he's at 28 minutes, let's do it this way in the playoffs. Let's say he plays anywhere in the playoffs. We give him a range in the minutes, right? And I want him to average out at about 28 minutes. What happens when he plays 28 minutes or right around it? So 26 to 30 is 28 or right around it. 12.6 points per game. Someone was talking about the Caruso or the PRA as well. I know I started that comment. Who was that? King over here was talking about that. The Caruso PRA as well. The boards and the assists, that scares me a bit more. And this is up at 16.5. I was playing this at 14.5, and now it's at 16.5. I can't really get next to it. But I still think the points are going to be there for a couple of reasons for him. The shot attempts, if you look at him when he plays this amount of minutes, the field goal attempts, let me get those up. Those are at 8.4 per game when he plays in this like 28 to 32 minute or 26 to 30 minute range, rather, where we have him at about 28 minutes in this game. The PRA doesn't look quite as impressive because 16.5 is a bit high for him. He's had some good games in this series for sure. I don't want to take that away from him. He is the type of player that I like to take PRA against the Pacers in general. Guys like Caruso, Josh Hart, who else is like a sort of undersized, almost forward who likes to crash the offensive boards? That type of player I do like to take against the Pacers who want to be in transition a lot, right? The Pacers want to get out into transition. So guys like Caruso are your better transition players. So you like to take them for more stats, more volume, etc. So I do like Caruso still. Also, that didn't work out last series because Josh Hart was booty last series. I'm not talking about the Knicks right now. We got a year before I have to do that bullshit. So Caruso points is what I prefer to the PRA with the amount of shots that he's taking, like 8 shots to get 10 points, a couple threes in there. I do think he's gonna be good for some points rather than the PRA if you want it. And I know that was the last look that we were just getting from somebody. So that's where we're at. Keep coming in with those bets. Oh wow, the AR-15 with a TJ over on the attempts. I appreciate that you guys are playing the volume props, by the way. Like that is a great way to go. You can't guarantee that somebody's going to make the 3, but if you think they're going to be out there enough to like get in position to take one, the reason that he's taken them, right? He's taken 1 in each of these games, I believe. 1 and 1, right? I believe the reason that he's taking them is because he's playing with Tyrese Halliburton. And if you play on the court with Hall, you better be ready for him to be driving and kicking out back out to the 3. So when he's playing off ball on court with Halliburton, and there's been like 4 or 5 minutes per game now. 4 minutes, 5 minutes total in this series, rather, where he's been on court with Hallie. And that's when he's getting those 3-point attempts. So if he's proven that he's going to be out there in a double guard lineup with Halliburton, usually in like the second quarter, sometimes a little bit in the end of the third quarter as well, then that would be the moment in time that I would like the 3. So I can see that. What's the juice for that? And I don't have it on here coming in as the attempt. So let me know what the odds are for that. But if you're getting like plus 140 in that range to take an attempt, I could see that being worth it. I'm not taking that at like flat, like minus 115 or some shit. I would probably be staying away. There's better ways to spend your money on this series. 4 rebounds for Obi. I kind of was mentioning I don't like Obi as much in this game. If you guys are checking out the bottom line, that's scrolling. The first part of the bottom line is all my bets that we've talked about so far on the show. And those are the ones that include Obi under 15.5 PRA. I'm taking the whole kit and caboodle under for him. So I'm not really as confident in the individual metrics for Obi this game as well. But that's just me. You might be better at betting than I am, and maybe that's what you want to do. This is what I want to talk about. And that was no shade. I was just talking shit. The Shy 40 piece. Where's the best number for that? This is where I think actually Outlier might come into play. Outlier be showing the 40 pieces. Let's take that alt stuff here. And Pips is working on it. I love you, Pips. Don't get mad at me for showing this. I just wanted to look at it real quick. Players. Where are we at here with SGA? Mama call him Shy. I'm going to call him Shy. SGA on the 40 piece. Let's get points. Let's alt this to 39.5. Where we at? Over 39.5 is plus 250. That's fucking robbery, dude. What the hell are you talking about? Plus 250. It's a 40 piece in the finals. You want me to take it for plus 250? Hold up. Let's go to who's weak at this shit. Usually bet 365 is weak. Who's got the best number for SGA on the points right now? ESPN bet and 365, obviously. Piece of shit. All right, SGA. Let's go to SGA and go down to these points right here. You could take him to get 60 plus for 40 to 1. Get the hell out of here. 40 plus 2. Wow, it's actually better on FanDuel at plus 250 for him to get the 40 piece. It's tough, man. I mean, it's the playoffs, dude. 40, he's gotten 38 a couple of times. That's actually crazy. He's gotten 38 3 times. He's got 40 once in these playoffs. The key here is like after a loss, right? After a loss, I believe that was the stat that I just saw. After a loss, these playoffs, SGA. So let's see, 1 by 2. Where are these losses at? After a loss, he had 34. After a loss, he had 25. That was the Nuggets game. And then after this loss, he had 35 in that game 7. When did they lose here? They lost here, and then he goes for 40 against Mini. Yeah. His usage was down last game, but J-Dub was up and he was shooting bad. That's really what it came down to. Nemby's bothering him. I mean, they're pressing him full court the whole game. Nembhard is on him the moment that he inbounds the ball coming down the court. I'm just trying to find a way to talk myself into it, and it's tough for me to do it plus 250, be honest. But it's SGA. His prop is at 34.5. It's like 5 more points than that for plus 250. I'm not going to hold you at all, but I would be going over on the points for SGA. I talked about that in the episode. I haven't bet it. I can't bring myself to bet these. Like, if I'm not getting crazy good money on odds on bets this high, you kind of lose me at that point. It's just not like an overtime. It's a very spot specific bet. And I'm still trying to play this EV betting game where I'm taking bets that I know over time will hit more consistently than not, versus in this moment, do I just want to slam it big because this spot is so good for SGA and it's a good spot for him. So if you're going to take the over on him, again, not going to hold you on that. Let's see. Brian's talking about Halliburton over 1.5 or 2.5 threes made. I do like that. I think that's the best way to play Halliburton. The assists aren't bad, but I mean, look, the assists versus this dude, versus this team, rather, not going to be great for Hallie. 8.5 is getting pretty high for him against the Thunder. This is the first game where he even had that many potentials, right? He's had 15 a couple times, but if he's not getting 17 potentials, do you like him to get 9, right? Like you want him to get 50% of your potential assists turning into regular assists. And if he's at 15, then half of that is about 7.5. You see what I'm saying? It's not a great look here. He's had way more potentials in the playoffs as a whole against other teams. Let me look at playoffs real quick. If you look at the potentials in the playoffs, yeah, they're good. They're at 16. So he's still 16 on average. And that's especially because they've come down here in the finals. I don't love the dimes once again for him. I was wrong to say fade them last game, but I would be fading them before I'd be going over on them. It's the threes that I like. And I took this for plus 106 on FanDuel. It's still around even money, minus 104, minus 105. I think that's still doable for Hallie. It really comes down to like what he's doing, regardless of if he's taking shots or not against the Thunder. He's taking threes, right? So you look at his 3-point attempts. Yeah, first game of the season, that he only took 2 against them. Then he took 9. Then he took 7, 8, and 8. So 7.5 threes per game that he's taking. He's at about 38 to 40% on his threes. Then yeah, I mean, I'm going to like him to hit 3 of 7 or 3 of 8 for a round plus money or even money. I still think that's the best way, the goodest way to be playing Halliburton would be the threes over anything else. Points I'm not terrified of, but I mean, look, he hit the threes here without getting the points one time, and then went 2 of 7, came close to hitting him with 14 points. Wasn't really close to the 18 that he needs. So yeah, I think the threes are the best play for him. That's really the shortest way of saying that. Kind of went over this a minute ago, not feeling the Caruso PRA, but maybe you put that up after I was talking about it. Let me see. We got the threes. You guys, somebody put out this McConnell threes attempt bet. I think somebody might have been talking about that. He's not getting more than 1. So if you're not getting that plus money for the over on the threes for him, let me know. This is interesting. If you're talking about SGA on the threes, I think the under on the threes is the better play than anything else. So they are taking the 3 away for sure. If we look at head-to-head in the finals right now, the 3-point attempts, let me go to advanced filters here and get to 3PA. If you look at the threes attempts, right, he's at 4.3 in this series. Did he hit 5 once? Yeah, he shot 6 of them and then shot 4 and shot 3 of them. They're taking it away for sure. And I mean, I think he's primed to go off. So I'm not in the business of trying to fade SGA in this game, but I will say that the threes under is a good look. In fact, if you took the under on the threes made and you parlay it with the over on the points, now you're kind of speaking my language a little bit. Let's see what we got here. Let me get into to that real quick. Player points. Let's go SGA. He's at 35 plus anyway, right? Yeah. So let's take him to get 35. But let's take, I mean, we could probably take an alt under on the threes too and like go under 2.5 and still get good money. So under 2.5 with the points. And they won't let me do it because they're pussy, because they are soft. But they'll probably let me do this. Soft. Capital T, S-O-F-T, soft. Soft. All right, where are we at? Bet365 is not soft. Where are you at, Bet365? See, points. Let's get him to get the 35 plus. Come on now. Let me do this off camera. I don't need you to steal my shit. But let me get back into this because I want to make this parlay happen on this on Bet365. Stand by. Logging into this bitch again. Y'all know my birthday here. All right. If we're looking at SGA, let me put this back for you. Just look at this. 35 plus. Will you let me combine this with under on the threes, please? Threes made under 1.5 plus 475, right? That's sexy. He hasn't done that in this series, but that's sexy. And if you took him for the 30 plus points, right, instead of the 35, you probably still get a good number here, like 2.5 to 1 for that. But I do like the under on the threes attempted. Under 5 is a good number there. 12.5 points for Chet. That's not his number though, right? You guys are giving me the alt line unders or alt lines to go over. And I'm not really about that, but I would say like 14.5 was a very beatable number for me. I like that number and the points for him last game. It's back up to 15.5 in the playoffs. He's at 16. So this is probably fair. When I say a number is fair, it means it's like properly priced and placed at this number, means that we don't have value on over or under because it's where it should be for the projection for him. The RA is what I took an under on because we still got that at 10.5. So I faded him, got minus 135 for him to not get 11 rebounds and assists. Mazel tov on the last job that he did here in 35 minutes. But I mean, he's going to have to be that good on offense early again to get 35 minutes. It's not what he's playing consistently in these playoffs, right? His minutes in the playoffs are at 29.4. I know there's been some blowouts. But even if we take the blowouts out of it, we get more right here. Let's do one by, let's do 15 or less. Boom, right? When it's close, it's the same shit, right? He's still not doing it. Let's do lost by, 15 or less. So it's still, he's at 9. It's not like he's not, the minutes here too, or what I'm looking at. If we go back to the minutes, he's still at 31. Like, I don't see him getting to 35 very often. He played super well in this game, but he's still a liability if Miles Turner is taking him on offense consistently. 12.5 points, very doable. If we look at that in the playoffs as a whole, right? What's he at here in terms of the 12.5? Let's get this down to that. He's probably hit this number hella. So he's at a 74% hit rate on that. I'm with it, but it's probably like minus 350 for him to get that. So it's probably also pretty accurately priced. Not loving that, but I'm hella happy to go off topic. Where would I like to see KD land? Man, Heat, Wolves, or Rockets. If those are my only choices, then definitely not the Heat, probably not the Wolves, and the Rockets would make the most sense. I low-key like fuck with the Rockets, I guess is what I'm saying. Let me be very clear about KD. KD is more like, he's better Carmelo Anthony. That's probably a solid comparison for KD. I think he's one of the best scorers in the history of the game, top 15 forward probably ever to play the game. How much better is he making your team? Like the rest of the players on the team. Your team is going to score more points. Is the rest of your team going to be better because they're playing alongside KD? That's my KD take. Do what you will, as I get just probably bombed by the KD fans now in the chat. All right. And yeah, so TJ, though, bumping him like 11.5, that's where I took it at. So if you want to take it at 11.5, I'm still good with that. I got plus money on it. You're probably looking at like around even money, right? For the TJ McConnell PA. Let's see. Yeah, so FanDuel bumped it back up, but even money's still good. Like I said, I like this up to 12.5, and then I'm out. But 11.5, especially at plus 100, that is good to me. So, yeah, I feel you, bro. I feel you, Marcus. Not trusting none. Everything seemed all over the place, bro. It's the finals, man. That's why God bless the WNBA starting. Had a really good night the other night on that shit. We can take a look at that in a minute too. But I feel you. Like, if you just want to sit back and watch the finals, man, ain't nobody going to hold you for that either. Benedict Mathurin. I'm glad you at least talked about it, so I don't skip over him without getting into Benny Mats for a minute. So Benedict Mathurin was incredible in this last game. Like, here's the conversation around Mathurin is this. Did he play 22 minutes in the last two games because they want him to have more minutes? Or did he play 22 minutes in the last two games for different reasons, such as blowout, right? Played like 5 extra minutes in the fourth quarter, maybe 4 in the fourth quarter of that game. Let me not lie to you. How many did he play in that last game? Let me get back to the summary. I'm looking at game 2 when he got 22 minutes. I'm going into the box score to see how many he played in the fourth quarter for Mathurin. 8 minutes, right? That's not what he's normally playing in the fourth quarter. So I think that was why he got 22 in this last game. Now in this game, You could argue he got 22 minutes because he was shooting 75% from the field and looked incredible. You could also argue that 3 key players on the starting lineup for the Pacers had 3 fouls in the first half, and Nesmith ended up fouling out the whole damn game, and this was his replacement. Benedict Mathurin was the dude who was his replacement, and I know that because Benedict Mathurin was the guy guarding Jalen Williams, right, when Nesmith was out. And so that tells you they brought in Mathurin, who got subbed directly for Nesmith, to guard J-Dub. That's why he got the minutes. Can we rely on those same minutes? I don't know for sure, but let's pretend that he's playing 18 to 22, and that's basically his ceiling now in the playoffs. What's he done? So 18 to 22 in the playoffs, only 4 games, but he's at 17 points per game in that time frame. Sheesh. This was a 1-point win. So he played 20 minutes without there being garbage time against the Cavs. Played 21 against the Knicks. Only shot 5 times to get to the free throw line. And then all out of shots because he got 7 free throws, 7 attempts. And my thing is, too, I've been like, after game 1, I was like, does anybody see that Benedict Mathurin looks like he's very comfortable out there in the finals against the best defense in the league, basically? His athleticism and ability to get to the rim, sort of just like he has this irrational confidence, that kind of shit. So, yeah, we should probably still be backing Benedict Mathurin. 10.5. I don't think you can get 9.5. If you want to dumb it down to 10 plus, I guess you can get it on DK. I'm with it still. I mean, shit, that amount of minutes. Let's look at the season as a whole. I know this is not apples to apples, but let's say 18 to 22 minutes on the season as a whole. A little bit less sexy, but still at 11.8 points. Most of those actually coming in the playoffs. So it's been a bit better in the playoffs for him. Look, he was incredible. He's looked incredible, but that doesn't mean that it's just like translates to this next game, him getting another 22 minutes. There's a lot of ways that this still goes wrong. So again, wouldn't hold you for taking it, but it's not, I think there's a couple other ways to spend our money here. Facts. Lou Dort said, F all of y'all's unders is what Lou Dort said to us in this last game. He's like, y'all, every single person want to fade me? Go ahead at your own peril. 4 for 8 from 3. So I'm Lou has done enough for me to just stay the hell away from him. But this is interesting. And CJ likes your bet too. So let's see about the Hallie turnovers. I didn't take this last game, but I remember somebody brought this up in the last episode too. God damn. Yeah, that seems low. Head to head, he's done this multiple times. First 2 games of the season, he didn't. Then these last 3, including in the finals, 4 and 5 turnovers. That adds up. I mean, look, dude has, I showed you the player touches, right, in the finals. 109 touches per game for Hallie. You're bound to turn the ball over 3 times, the 109 touches, right? I think that's a look. Let me put that on the bottom line as a lean for right now. And I might be betting that. I appreciate the look. I didn't look at it last game quite as much. But once I start thinking about all these touches that Halliburton's got on the ball, it's kind of like, there's a high likelihood here. Halliburton over 2.5. I thought that might get up to 3 in this game, or 3.5. But yeah, over 2.5 turnovers. That's on the bottom line. Now I like that. Appreciate that look from you guys too. CJ liked it too, and for good reason. Let's see what else we I'm getting back up here. Mathurin is Kuminga. That might be an insult to Mathurin. I think that might be an insult to Mathurin. Kuminga being withheld from trades because the Warriors don't want to trade him is the dumbest shit I ever heard, if that's a fact. But like I said, I don't know. I might be giving Benny Matz the edge there. Let me know what y'all think. Who's better? Who would you rather have right now? Basically like the same age. Maybe Benny Matz is a little bit older, but damn, I don't know. That felt harsh, bro. I can't get away from this. This is like consuming my brain now. It's kind of true, but he's got handles. Like Kuminga can't dribble a basketball unless he's just running straight. But what's up, my fellow Josh? How you doing, Yoshua? Good to have you in here. Wiggins, I was thinking about fading Wiggins, Troy's boss. Let me look at Aaron for a sec. You don't know what he's going to get for minutes, so he ends up being a stay away from me. But PR in the playoffs, I was looking at an under. This got down to 7.5. I was looking at 8.5 under on the PR for Wiggs here. Yeah, I mean, he played 21 minutes in that blowout and was hitting, so he stayed out there. Looked really good on offense. It's hit or miss with him. He's so hit or miss that I'm kind of end up being in a stay away. But if I was going to fade him, I would just probably fade all of it and assume that he's going to play another 10 minutes, right? The RA is available. 3.5. Nah, I'm out. But I think the PRA under would be the preferred play for me for Wiggins in that one. So yeah, check the bottom line. Do have J-Dub in there for an under like that. Let me see. So this is the last guy I want to talk about, and I do got a dip here in a minute. I want to see what we're talking about too, though. We got a lot of people coming in the chat. Damn, all the homies are coming in the chat now. All right, we'll keep it going for a minute. Let's see. Already touched on Caruso. The only thing I really like for Caruso is the points. I'm not really messing with the RA. Again, like I was saying, yeah, this is what I was interrupting myself about. Check the bottom line that's scrolling right now. If you're jumping in late, I'm gonna have all the looks that we've talked about on this show that I would be betting here or did already bet down on that bottom line. So Mathurin I should put down there too because I do like him. But Miles Turner, is he not sick anymore? I don't know if anybody has anything on that. Maybe I don't know if we're gonna get anything on the noties about it. No, we're still getting the W stuff here. But I mean, he should be good to go. It's just I don't know if I trust him now that he's sick because he played horribly last game, at least on offense. He still brought it on defense, especially. But for Miles Turner, I'd be a little bit worried that Turner is not fully healthy. That's my only thing. If you think he's gonna have a bounce back game, great. 5.5 on the boards. Ugh. Head to head overall, this has been a meh bet for him. Had 2 big games in the regular season, and then game 1 had the 15 rebound chances. But then in the last couple, double-digit rebound chances, plus money. It's not terrible, but he's playing pretty far from the basket, man. Like I said, I think I'm staying away from Miles in this one right now. But is this the KD? Is this the KD convo? You want him on the Heat? Like I said, here for the Heat. Played great. He's Caruso. I'm not sure you guys are talking about anymore. I'm just trying to catch up. Yes, sir. Fellow Josh knows what's up. KD better than Melo. That's fine. But I said like better Melo, which doesn't make him LeBron. It doesn't make him like MJ or anybody like that, right? What's up, JK? Might do under half a U or half a U on Dort, under half a free throw. He's got 0 attempts in the finals. Yeah, he's barely shooting it from 2 in the finals. So it's going to be tough for him to get to the line. This is a good look. I prefer this from Mob JIT. This is what's interesting is like the assists and the threes. Those are the 2 sort of correlated bets for me with Pascal. The assists are better than the threes in this series because look at the attempts in this series, right? If you look at the first game, 2, 4, and 2 again, right? So he's at like 2.5 threes that he's attempting per game. Those are correlated to the assists because he's getting assists on drives a lot, right? He's getting the potential assists are going up because they're running him off the 3-point line. And then when he gets into the lane, if he gets met by somebody that's bigger than him or is able to defend him, then he's probably looking to pass. If he's met by somebody smaller or whatever, then he keeps going to the rim. So the assists are in part going up and the potential assists going up for Pascal because the threes go down because they run him off the line. That's the story that's played out in the finals. But what's crazy is in the regular season, he had 7 and 5 3-point attempts in those 2 games. And then the assists in those games still had the potentials at 6, but wasn't really getting them as much. Now we're up at, consistently 6 to 9 now free throw or assists potential for him. So I'm with that for sure. But whoa, anything's possible. That is crazy, dude. What's his rebounds at? Let's see. The Rebs. He's going to need the minutes, bro. Yeah, he's not really coming close. He's not even getting 10 rebound chances. So you might be on your own in that one, but God, if that hit, bro, like you get to come back here and talk all of your shit. So I hope that happens. Over blocks. Yeah, SGA's been Mutombo in this series. Has Hallie had some blocks too? I haven't seen that. Let me see if that's the case for Hallie. I know SGA had at least 2 blocks last game. Let's see, blocks for Hallie, -125 for over. Yeah, he's got one in each of the last 5 games. That's crazy. Not sure I feel like that has any merit to it. But the steals for dude, as he's been on the court that much, +160 for 2 of them. That's not a bad look. In the playoffs, what's he at? 8 games with 2 steals. You get +150. Not terrible. I like that more than the blocks. But yeah, Miles was sick, man. He said that they said he's been under the weather. Let's see if there's anything else on that. Miles Turner. Yeah, see, so this is like the second most Googled thing for him. Illness update from mysterious ill. Why is it mysterious? He's probably just sick. What do you mean? Doesn't have fucking chlamydia or something. Let's see. Let's get these. All right, yeah, just fine. Let me read this for a second. He didn't attend media availability. The Oklahoman wants me to read all these fucking ads. Game for the finals. He's not on the injury report though, so he's probably okay. Jarris Walker's out still, so that they're keeping the bench the same size. So yeah, Miles probably still good to go. Yeah, all right. I'm sure he's okay. I don't have a more recent update than that, but Yeah. So Miles is probably better, but he was sick. So that I think was a big part of it. Go on now. He might have been like, that's what you think. This wasn't like a post game report that he got sick. Like, I think he might have actually been sick, but this is the key with Miles. Like when he's in there, Chet is drop D all day, every day, which is another reason I actually thought that Pascal was going to be good for threes in this series, because I thought that Hartenstein would be starting, not Cason Wallace, and Chet would be on Pascal. And whomever Chet is guarding is good for some shots because he's dropping down on D on the screens. He's not coming out and guarding Miles Turner on any of his shots. So, yeah, I think if Miles is healthy, he still should be a good look the way that they're playing him on defense. You just got to hit him if he is completely healthy. So, let's see. Tracy, dude. It's a girl. Yeah, Caruso on the steals. That could be a good look too. Where is he's at 1.5 probably. I didn't see what he did last game. Let's see. All right, I'm gonna close it out here too. I'm being summoned. Yeah, we lost the juice. You were getting plus money on this, but it's still a pretty likely bet, I would say, especially when you give him the minutes there. Minus 120 if you can get it, probably close to worth it. But this was hella better odds recently. So yeah, Halliburton's good on this turnovers. Check out the bottom line if you guys are still here. I got everything in there. I want to make sure I'm not missing anything that I want to add. Yeah, I got Hallie on the turnovers. Was the one we were just talking about that I kind of liked too. That y'all brought up. I like the Hallie turnovers. Let me just Mathurin and Turner would be the points, but I'm staying away from Turner, and Mathurin would be where I'd go as well for the points if you wanted that. But I'll put him on here, Mathurin, but you got to take over 10.5 now is the problem. And again, value kind of gone. So that's going to be that. Appreciate you guys. If you do, if you can, before you dip out, go ahead and give this video a like. It goes a super long way to help everything out. I'm going to be coming back with WNBA for tomorrow. Still have WNBA season pass available. If anybody wants it, check out the description of the video. Got the links in there for you, so you can check that out. Get a little discount on tailing all the W bets. Up 2 units now after a nice 5-unit sweep day on Wednesday. Looking to keep it going here tonight. So best of luck tonight, y'all. Enjoy the finals. Until I see you next. Happy betting.